Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're talking Cardano's ADA, taking a look at what's been going on most recently with the price action and what I think might actually happen next. As we get into the video, if you find it useful and informative, you know what to do. Hit the like button. If you happen to be new, subscribe, and if you haven't joined us in Discord, links are in the description down below. Okay, let's get started with this analysis on Cardano. We're paired up with USDT on the hourly chart and Binance is the data source. Now, if I just zoom out of this for a fraction, you can kind of see that we're talking about this 5-wave drop to the downside. We have already met the minimum expectations on this 5th wave. As I was talking about the other day, I was expecting maybe a slight deeper move into this little yellow box area between this 41.28 and 42.63. However, it looks like we have now moved well above the 45.44 range, basically meaning that we are done with this 5th wave down lower. Now, it's possible that it could turn into something a bit more sinister and we could overextend and go terribly deeper with this move, but it's a bit of a wild card at this particular point in time. But with that being said, I think it's important that we do understand that there is some momentum to the downside that has to play out, at least not on the hourly chart, but more for the 4 and 8 hour stochastics. Let's take a look. On our hourly, you can see that we're progressing down nicely here, helping to protect those recent gains that have come up. But when we take a look at the 4 hourly, we're already up in this overbought area, and the same can be said for approaching this overbought area on the 8 hour chart. This basically means that we're probably going to see some volatile movements as we continue this move upwards a little bit and then have some kind of deep correction. One of the things that this is starting to look like to me is like a 5-wave structural move upwards. And you've got to bear in mind that we are, of course, talking about coming up into this range of 49.56 to 56.97, basically meaning that we have to kind of work our way up there. Now, a 5-wave structure at this particular point, and I would be expecting under a 3-wave structure would basically be talking about a zigzag, but I'm thinking we're probably going to see a zigzag within the first wave of our 3-wave move. Doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have a much larger zigzag, but anything is possible, right? So let's go ahead and just map this out for a second, right? So as we kind of think about this, we've got 5-wave structure here, 1, 2, all the way up here. I think this is little 3, then this is where we are currently with wave 4. We'll push up into 5 like that. I think that's what we're going to see. Then, of course, I think we're going to pull back in a 3-wave fashion that will be reasonably deep. This will correct our 4 and 8 hour stochastic RSIs, and this gets us to probably being back down at this range of around 43.5 cents from the highs, probably pushing up towards the 46, 47 range. It's going to be a little bit difficult to kind of map out exactly what's going on there until we finish this current wave 4, but it's going to be something to that effect. Then from once we've completed this next 3-wave drop to the downside, we would expect to see another 5-wave move upwards. That there would complete an ABC zigzag pattern, A, B, and C, just like that. And that could just mark our single A wave, right? So it could basically just be an A up here, then B, then C, taking us into this range. So as we start to think about the structures of what might occur and how we might get up into these higher ranges, this is the first one that jumps to mind. Alternatively, the other ones that could play out would be for something very similar to this. It will still be falling under an ABC function, but we'll be pushing up higher and probably retracing deeper as well. Basically, we have 5 waves come up as we are kind of mapping right now. 3 waves drop down. That doesn't change. But the only difference is we actually then have the 5-wave structure next go up significantly into our yellow box right away, getting a lot of bullish momentum up. This actually creates an impulsive structure where we then start to see a 3-wave drop down, not crossing the original 5-wave structure, and then we finally finish this off with a 5-wave structure going up. That there would then basically be wrapped up into an A wave. That's probably a bit too extreme, but you kind of get the idea. If I just pull that back down and maybe lower these things just a fraction, just so that we can actually keep the scale a bit more accurate, that would basically be our A wave. Then we would collapse down quite significantly and then push up again into another 5353535 to complete our zigzag pattern. And you'll notice that this would basically take us right up into the deeper areas of retracement. This would be the most bullish kind of scenario that we could probably see for Cardano, but it would not cross and should not cross our high point of origin just here at 59.48. The reasoning is because we are going to have to complete a zigzag of a much deeper scale, as we have 5 waves here, this is 3 waves up, and all of these kind of zigzags that I've been talking about would basically be replicated in this fashion fashion as well, taking us down towards 28.26 and 34.25. Of course, we could still talk about 22.23 or even as low as 15.46 in the future. But essentially, what we want to do is we kind of want to keep things present for now. Just understanding that there's a couple of different scenarios that can play out with the structures that we've got in play at the moment. So we want to be a little bit cautious right now. One thing that we do know is we're looking to push up into our 5th wave higher, and we are looking for 3 waves afterwards to kind of complete back down. This will basically just put us into a big reset position on the 4 and 8 hour stochastics and allow us to align up with our daily, ready for a big push to the upside. One of the key things that we cannot forget is that our macro weekly time frame is overbought, and we do want to see that thing pull down towards our accumulation zones. So do expect some kind of move to the upside over the next few weeks, but it's not overly bullish. It's just a nice healthy correction to the upside before we continue our move to the downside. Guys, I'm going to leave this video right there. If you found it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Don't forget, join us in Discord. We cover a lot more down in our Discord server, so well worth checking out. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. Guys, until the next one, have a fantastic day.